Couple years ago, and today, I feel like I'm living in my car. I'm dropping off one kid on one side of town, grabbing another on the other side, and dinner was usually something through a drive-through or something convenient. My workout would get skipped, and by the time I got home, I was so tired I was collapsing on the couch and scrolling on Instagram. And if you've ever had days like that, you're not alone. But here's the thing. It wasn't the chaos of raising teens and tweens that has totally drained me. It was the mistakes I was making inside of that daily chaos. And today I'm going to share the 3 mistakes that I used to make on crazy carpool days and the exact shifts that have helped me protect my energy, my hormones, and my sanity, even in the middle of the chaos. So the first mistake that I was making was fueling on convenience. And it was really just about eating conveniently for me. So maybe it was Chick-fil-A, like that drive-through just kind of became part of my routine. I would drive through, grab nuggets, sandwich, fries. It kind of just felt easy, felt like I was just in that survival mode, right? Like I would leave work and I would just go grab food and it would just become part of the routine, right? Like, what are we going to eat? I don't know. We don't have time. I'll just grab something. But the thing that I didn't realize until later was that one Chick-fil-A sandwich has 55 ingredients in it. 55, right? That's a lot of ingredients that keep your body inflamed and just totally dragging down. I actually thought I was making a decent choice, but at the end of the day, I usually felt bloated and tired and just like not great. Do I eat it sometimes now? Yeah, sometimes, but not at the rate that we were going through chicken nuggets back then. Because here's the truth that you need to hear, and it's not always the best thing that you want to hear or something that you want to hear, but convenience food is not fueling you. It's actually pushing back against you because when you're getting those quick carbs and the fried oils, it's giving you that short burst of energy and then it's leaving you crashing at night when you need your patience the most, like when you have to put your kids to bed. And what your body really is asking for, especially on these crazy days, is making sure that you're getting protein and fiber because those 2 things are going to help you have the steady fuel that you need to keep your blood sugar stable and your energy more even. I want you to think of it like a fire, okay? Convenience food is that paper kindling that you put on the top, right? It lights up fast, but it burns out super fast, like within minutes. And protein is the log that burns slow and steady, and that carries you through the practice pickups and all of the driving all over the place without crashing or needing more sugar. And so when I swapped the drive-through for something else, like maybe I would add a protein shake into my routine, or I would make sure that I would make something at home, like a quick wrap, I wasn't crashing later. And I definitely wasn't raiding the pantry late at night because I wasn't hungry. I actually had patience and I was much more calm through the night. So the second mistake that I was making was thinking that I always had to move and it had to be a workout, right? And maybe you've told yourself this too, right? That you don't have time today, so you're just going to try again tomorrow. And that was me over and over and over. At one time, I worked for a global company. So between the really early calls and the late night practice, workouts really just honestly never seemed to fit. Until one day I was at my son's soccer practice and I was like, wait, I can just walk the track, right? That simple shift completely changed how I thought about movement because I used to believe that if I couldn't get like a long workout in or I wasn't sweating really hard, that it didn't count. So I would just skip it altogether and then I would just make more excuses. And I became frustrated with myself. And so I started just walking the track. And instead of, sitting in my car or just sitting out there watching, I started actually looking forward to it. And even though I wasn't working out hard, it gave me that energy and I felt calmer when I left. So here's the thing. The truth is any movement matters, okay? Research shows breaking activity into shorter bouts is just as effective as one long workout. So even 10 or 15 minutes of walking is going to lower your cortisol and it's going to help your blood sugar and it's going to tell your body that we can just go ahead and burn this energy instead of storing it. I want you to think of this, okay? It's almost like brushing your teeth. You don't wait until you have an hour free to brush your teeth, right? You do it daily and you do it in small amounts because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep your teeth healthy. So when I stopped just waiting for like the perfect time to work out and I just moved however I could, walking the track or even just walking during the day, or sometimes I would just pace like during warm-ups during a game, my body was feeling better little by little. And I actually started to stick with it because it finally fit into my life. And I wasn't trying to make it fit like a square peg in a round hole. And so while movement was a huge mindset shift, there was still one habit that drained me most at night. And I thought it was my me time, but it was actually really stealing my energy for the next day. And that third mistake is numbing instead of resetting. So I used to tell myself that, like, I deserve this. I've earned a little scroll or I've earned this snack, right? But here's at the end of the day what was really happening. I was collapsing on the couch. I was so tired. I'd open Instagram and, like, before I knew it, an hour was gone. And instead of feeling better, I was actually feeling even more drained. And so the third mistake that I see over and over again is really just numbing out instead of actually resetting yourself. For me, it was Instagram. I would tell myself I was just catching up or that I needed a few minutes of me time, right? Who doesn't need that me time? But then it was like suddenly after 10 o'clock and my brain was buzzing and I was already like dragging the next morning. Like I would wake up and I would just be like, ugh, gross. And it's one of the reasons I actually don't spend a lot of time posting on Instagram now, because I realized it was costing me my energy. And that's a big shift that you're going to see from me and putting up more YouTube videos, right? I mentioned in my video yesterday that I was going to be sharing a video a day in September. So this was a big reason for me, is because I was posting so much on YouTube or on Instagram that it was draining me. And so I needed to really break that. And so scrolling, and snacking might feel like it's giving you that break, but it's actually taking away from your energy for tomorrow. And that blue light on your phone, you may have heard this, but it can raise your cortisol and lower your melatonin, which actually makes it harder for your body to rest. So, like, if you add in that late night snacking, your sleep and your hormones and your metabolism are all just going to take a hit because you're not really taking that time to let your body reset. I want you to think about this. It's almost like you're plugging your phone into a fake charger. It looks like it's charging, but you wake up at 10%. And that's what scrolling and late night snacks are really doing to your body. So when I swapped out numbing for actually sleeping or journaling or just sitting in quiet, sometimes I'll lay on my back with my legs up the wall, I was feeling so much better because the nights I was doing this, the next day I was waking up and my choices with food and my movement and even my family just got easier because I wasn't running on empty, just trying to have a little me time late at night. And really, this is where my core 3 that I talk about all the time comes full circle, because it's not just about what you eat or how you move. It's also about the strategy that you put in place. And for me, the strategy was realizing that rest is actually a part of fat loss, part of hormone balance, and actually really part of just showing up for myself consistently. So, at the end of the day, these 3 things used to wreck me a lot on carpool days, or a lot of days just in general, right? I was living on that drive-through food. I was skipping movement because I didn't think it would count if I wasn't just doing something. And I was using that me time, and I say that loosely, to numb out instead of actually resting. And listen, I don't share this because I've got it all figured out. I share it because I know how easy it is to fall into those patterns when life feels like it's nonstop. And if you're a mom with teens and tweens and you're in that perimenopausal stage, you're probably going through this too. And so what really finally shifted for me wasn't about another diet or a new shiny workout plan. It was realizing that I needed that simple framework, something that I could fall back on no matter how crazy my day got. So that's why I put together my core 3 hormone reset guide, because it's one of those things that I use, my nutrition, my movement, and my strategy, so that your hormones are going to help balance out and they're going to work inside of your body the way that they need to. And so you can grab that at the link below. And if you're nodding along and you're thinking, okay, well, you talked about, those things, but what about my mornings? Mine are just as chaotic. And so I've got you. I want you to watch this video, 5 morning habits that burn belly fat after 40. It'll show you how to set up your hormones in the morning and your energy so that you're set up before the chaos even starts. You can watch it here.